I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. So, where I'm from, it's a lot of talent and a lot of people who aspire to do great things. So it's a dope area.
Certain part you represent?
Yeah, downtown Norfolk, right there, 757.
Still reside in Norfolk?
I do.
Now, somebody watching this that might not be familiar with that, what's the closest major city one would be familiar with?
The closest to us is New York. They're like our neighboring like city, and then right after that, Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far is New York City? How far is Atlanta?
New York City is about six hours, 30 minutes. It's not about 6 hours yet. So, and Atlanta is about 9, give or take, depending on how you drive.
Now, if somebody's a little bit more familiar with like the surrounding area of Norfolk, how far is like Richmond?
Richmond is about 2 hours for real.
What about Washington, D.C.?
D.C. about 3.5, 3.
Okay.
I said depending on how you drive.
Now, what was it like for you growing up in Norfolk? Can you paint that picture for us?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first off, I grew up in the projects and whatnot. So, and I got to see a lot of street life and just how being in the wrong environment can like take you off from like your good standings. So learning from that, and then I had a whole bunch of like role models I looked up to as well, who weren't necessarily like involved in the right things, but were telling me like, yo, this is not the right way for you, and kind of gave me like an open vision and a clear eye how to do the right thing. And that's how I also found my love for music, and that was kind of like my outlet. So a lot of guys respected me for, me being an individual and not just trying to, do something because it's cool or because that's who, I think I am when I know who I really am as a person. So it definitely taught me a whole lot and, made me who I am and, even as an artist. So.
And when you say the projects, we're talking poverty?
Yeah. So, my mother's a single parent. She worked very hard, to give me and my brothers, the life that we needed and a life to be successful. So, she worked, she's a teacher, and she just provided for us. But she always allowed us to have opportunities to where we always didn't see the negative side of things or, was always like out the projects. So, most definitely.
Were you able to escape that that level of poverty and reach a higher class?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a very believer in God. So my mother worked hard, and God opened up some doors that allowed us to be able to move, and from there things have been great. And with that, I've been growing as an artist and working on building my base. So it just kind of like we took the level up in the next stage. So things are going good, and I'm just hoping for the best in the future too.
What age do you think you were when you guys were able to break away from that poverty level?
I'm 22 now, so probably around 17, 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you when your parents separated?
I was young, honestly. Can't remember like the exact quite age, but I was young, and I just remember my mother always being a strong figure there for me, and just kind of like holding it down, being both of those figures. So, but yeah, I was definitely young. I don't think I could say like I remember like an age.
How often was the other parent in your life?
My dad was kind of in and out, just because of some things that he was neglected as a man himself, growing up. And it's no doubt that he doesn't have any love for me, but it's just like that level of maturity that you have to take care of, your child. So it was a little lacking in that department, but like I said, my mom was there to hold it down together, and then I had a lot of great role models, to show me how to you know, be a good young man. So.
What terms are you on today with your father?
We talk here and there, you know, occasionally. He makes sure you check up, make sure everything is fine, you know. He's trying to work on restoring some things, so, you know, I can respect that from him, definitely.
How did that separation affect you?
You know, like what most people, you know, say like it would hurt you, but it actually made me stronger because like I learned how to really carry myself as a young man. Like I said, I had 2 younger brothers, so it was kind of like I had to step up and just be like mature, you know. So it helped me and it molded me into like the person I am, you know what I'm saying, today, and like how I conduct things, you know, with business and my music, and you know that level of maturity. So.
Any advice on somebody watching this dealing with a separation of their parents? I mean, circumstances can be different for everybody, but
of course.
Any general advice there?
Yeah, just you know, find a good outlet, like a good tool that you can use to like express yourself. You know, mine was music, and also play basketball. So like I was always either doing one of the two, and like having that outlet just allows you to be able to have something to look forward to. So where you're not just constantly thinking of this, and the third, you know. But it's like you having that outlet is a source of you being able to like strengthen yourself and get stronger. You know what I'm saying? So.
You mentioned role models. There was another male figure in your life?
Yeah, it was a couple.
Who?
I have a grandmother, and her son is actually a big influence on our life. So you know, they would have like little men's day weekends and outings, and you know, he'd be like, "Yeah, come with us, and you know, we'll teach you how to do certain things, you know, just talk and, you know, have manly discussions and all of that." And then, you know, he has a family as well, and he takes care of his family, so I just saw that through them.
Now, speaking about your biological father and, you know, how you think of him and that sort of thing, it sounds like your understanding of the circumstances, you know, saying that he was missing some things in his life, maybe that you know, transpired to how, you know, things happen for you.
Right.
But was there ever resentment or bitterness on your end?
Bitter. No, not really. You know, like I said, it wasn't like he was like saying it, you know, he didn't care or outright. It's just like some like maturity things. And you know, that like that's another thing I learned from just being like you know, the oldest and second oldest and just talking to my mother. And you know, it was kind of like a pity for him, honestly. So you know, like I wish him the best. I hope for him the best, and you know, I hope he gets better.
Now, you did mention in the beginning of this segment, you mentioned the streets. You had a perspective of the streets. Does that mean you partaked in that yourself, or you just observed it?
Yeah. Like I said, I seen a lot. You know. I wasn't more so into the streets, but I had a lot of people around me who was doing certain things, you know, and they would tell me like, "Yo, this is like what I have to do, but this is not what you have to do, and this is not your life," you know, and that's what helped me continue to keep like a straight eye, straight head, and just keep doing what I'm doing. And like I said, they saw I was doing music, or they see me balling, and you know, playing basketball and whatnot. So they was just like, "Yo, stay on that path. Like, this is not for you." You know, like, this is something I gotta do, but you don't have to do that. So I'm thankful, I'm saying, for that.
How big was gang activity in your city back then when you were growing up?
It was I wouldn't necessarily say like huge, you know what I'm saying, more so for my part, but it was kind of like it was escalating and becoming like more of like a bigger thing as I was, you know what I'm saying, as I was coming up. So, yeah, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't huge, but, you know what I'm saying, it was around.
Never joined one?
Yeah, nah.
Was there any reasoning why you didn't when others did?
Just like I said, like a lot of you know, my big brother figures,
Gotcha.
They were just kind of telling me like, you know, this is not you, bro, you know. And like I said, once again, it was like, you know, this is what I got to do, or this is what I'm a part of, you know, so what I got to do. But it was just like, yo, stay focused, do your thing.
Growing up, especially with that poverty environment. Would you describe it as a rough upbringing for you?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's beauty in the struggle. And, you know, it's just like a perspective on like how you choose to see it. And like I saw a lot of positive things, and you know, a lot of beautiful things being in the community, you know, just meeting with people, learning how to work with people, you know what I'm saying, being around. So I saw a lot of good, you know what I'm saying, in the situation and whatnot. So it wasn't all bad, you know what I'm saying, all the time. Like, it is what you make it, you know. Mm. So I saw the good, and then, you know what I'm saying, I saw also what I didn't want to become too. So that's why I just say it just led to me just going harder. So.
When you speak of positive things, what was the most positive thing for you growing up?
The most positive thing in my life was, you know, my mother's encouragement to do better, good advice, and, you know what I'm saying, definitely like God, you know, being there talking to him and having him as that figure helped me get through, and just like I said, good advice from good people, and my mother's advice, definitely.
And on the opposite end, with this struggle, what was maybe the bottom point of that for you?
What you mean by
was there a bottom point of the struggle or dealing with a struggle for you?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like I said, I saw a lot of good things in it, you know. Does it feel good like when you're going through it all the time? Nah. But, you know, it's more one of those things where it's like I'm thankful that I went through it, because, you know what I'm saying, it made me a better person. So.
Any advice for somebody, again, general here because circumstances could be different for everybody, of course. But let's say somebody that has to grow up in that environment that you described, the projects.
Yeah.
Any general advice to a kid watching this right now? Anything you would say to them?
Yeah, find you a good outlet, and, you know, if you got a passion, if you like to sing, rap, draw, you know what I'm saying, play sports, anything of the sort, like, stick with it and be yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you yourself, people gonna respect that, you know, regardless. So that's why I just say, like, just be yourself, for real, you know, have your self-respect, because that's what means the most. And, like, don't feel like you gotta do something because somebody pressuring you, you know what I'm saying? Just be yourself, like, it works out all the time, so yeah.
Now, what about school? What kind of kid were you in class?
Yeah, I was a pretty good kid. I was always like kind of laid back and like to myself, for real. So like I never was like a problem, you know what I'm saying, kid. And if I did do stuff, it was like, you know what I'm saying, a little silly stuff, like laughing and stuff like that. But like never like really like a problem child, for real.
Were you part of a certain type of clique in school?
For real, I was cool with like a lot of like different crowds, because I was laid back. So, you know, a lot of people like mess with me because I wasn't like all in like people's face, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I was just myself. I've always been myself. So people just kind of route with me from that.
What age were you when music started?
Ooh, I've been doing music my whole life, for real. But I would say like essentially being like an artist and pursuing what I am right now, I'd probably say like senior year in high school. And that's when I really started like going hard for it and, you know, really on the grind.
Did you do any music classes in school?
Yeah, I did. I actually took chorus. I wish I would have like stuck with it. Like at my school, it wasn't like the coolest thing to do, you know, and I kind of like strayed from it a little bit just at the time. But yeah, I took chorus classes, and I think one year, I think 5th grade, I took fifth. I did a band like 5th grade. But yeah, I took chorus.
You were teased in it for being in it?
I wasn't like per se teased in it. It was like the year I was supposed to go and do it. It's like this varsity chorus called like Win Song or whatnot. And you know, I used to sit back there with the guys, and they used to be like, "Yo, look at him, so do it." And I was like, "Yeah, haha." But then like in my mind, I'm like, "Yo, this is about to be me coming up." Like, so you know, I kind of strayed away from it. But yeah, that's how that went.
How many years do you think you did chorus for?
In school, I think I did chorus for, in middle school, I did it for 2 years. And then in elementary school, I did it for a year. And then I did it for a year in my senior year.
Why'd you stop the band?
It wasn't really my thing. I thought it was, and I thought it was something I wanted to do, but I didn't really like have a passion for it like I thought I would, or like, you know, I would have thought it would have been.
What were you playing?
The flute.
Did you participate in any talent shows?
I did. I actually did talent show in 5th grade year. Me and my brother did something together. That was dope. Then I did one, like I said, 6th grade. I think I did one in 8th grade, and after that, I just helped with it. I was on the committee to like help out with like all of that stuff. So I took like the more back route, you know what I'm saying, with those. But yeah, I think I did talent shows. Like I did a couple of them.
How'd you place?
Oh, well, the first one we did 5th grade year, it wasn't a place. It was just kind of like showcasing. My 6th grade one, me and my brother, we won that one. 7th grade, it was just another, I'm saying, talent show and not, so it wasn't really like placing. It was just people out there showing their talent.
Like original composition when you won, or you were singing somebody else's song?
Yeah, we covered songs. Growing up, me and my brother like sung. We was like actually in a gospel group, so we had covered like some like older gospel songs and whatnot.
What song won it?
I can't remember right off. What song did we do? I can't even remember.
Any advice to somebody watching this about to do a talent show themselves?
Yeah, you know, go out there, have fun, do your thing, just be confident in it, and yeah, biggest thing is have fun and go out there and just really just give it your all. You know what I'm saying? Don't think about messing up or what people think. So that's what I say.
I don't know if you were in the CD selling era back then when you were in school.
Yeah, I remember CDs.
Did you sell CDs of yourself back then or no?
Yeah, we actually did. We had like a 3-song demo that we used to go around. Like I said, we used to minister and like do events and everything like that. So that afterwards, people would be like, "Oh, how can I get your music and whatnot?" So we used to come in, you know what I'm saying, sell those or like give them away.
How'd they sell? How many did you sell?
We were very successful like in selling. A lot of people liked our music at the time we were coming up, so it was dope.
You did play sports.
Yes, I did.
You did do basketball.
Yeah.
Varsity?
No. I stopped before it got to a point. I played 5th grade, and then, you know what I'm saying, a little here and off through middle school, but more so kind of like extracurriculars, so like rec and, you know, like after school type of events and whatnot.
Why didn't you pursue it further?
Like I said, I found out it wasn't like really like a super like strong like passion of mine. So like I enjoyed it, but like at the level of like, you know, that commitment and whatnot, and you know what I'm saying, being on a team and all that good stuff, it was just kind of like, all right, I'd better put it into my music.
Back then when you were in school, did you have a single you were promoting back then?
I didn't. I was still kind of finding like my sound actually in, you know what I'm saying, high school. So I was doing like a lot of covers at the time. And also like I was working on like my writing and like becoming like a better writer. So, you know what I'm saying, dealing with that and just like going in the studio and learning how to record the right way. So I just learning like the back ends of everything mostly, like in school and whatnot. And then, like I said, after I graduated, that was just kind of like my turning point. And then that's when I started like really getting on the grind and, you know, I was working.
Before you graduated, did you win any superlatives, especially like senior superlatives? You know, like these awards they give out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like best dressed, most likely to succeed, stuff like that. Did you win any of those?
Well, I went to this private school, so like the biggest award you could get was like the ambassador award, and it was like, you know, for overall like a good person, you know, like you know, you're a good student, you know what I'm saying, you were cool with everybody, you weren't like a troublemaker type thing like that. So I got that, and then my senior year for superlatives, I had actually transferred to this school on my way called Moore High School, and I was low key. I was mad low key, and my senior year, I just went there, did my work, you know what I'm saying, I was out. So I kind of missed like the superlatives there, but like at my old school, I got that, and I had got a, you know what I'm saying, I got an award for, you know what I'm saying, most willing or most likely to succeed. So
What was the reason for the transfer?
Yeah, I was actually trying to do like a music program that wasn't offered at my old school, but I actually like missed the tryout date for it. So after we had withdrawal from the school and whatnot, you know, I went in and decided to do that decision, and you know, things didn't work out. But you know, it was a blessing in disguise, 'cause I was able to work some. And then the other school, I had finished up my credits and everything. They were higher at my old school. So, you know, I was able to leave a little bit earlier and also go to the studio more and, you know, kind of like hone in on my craft a little bit. So I had like more free time to do that.
So you went 3 years to one school and then 1 year for another school?
Yeah, yeah.
I know sometimes that can be tough for a kid because, you know, when you grow up with a certain amount of friends,
right, yeah.
and you're like a big fish in a small pond, you know, now, so to speak, you're a small fish in a big pond because you're with a group of people you're not maybe used to or even know.
Yeah, yeah. That was the hardest thing. Like when I was making my decision, and like I said, it was coming at a time too where it was like, all right, you got to start thinking about like real life. So I was like, okay, you know, and that was when I was really deciding to get on my music wave. So I was like, all right, I got to do this. I got to go and do this program. You know, it's good opportunities in there for me. I got to do it. And that was one of the hardest things, like growing up with my friends and everything like that, because we had all been coming up together. So, you know what I'm saying, not seeing them on a daily basis was tough. But, you know, that's life. You know, you got to do what you got to do. So,
You were willing to sacrifice that.
yeah.
Any advice to a kid watching that's got to be the new kid in school?
Yeah, like I don't want to sound cliche, but like just be yourself. Like I was chill like at my school, but then that's me as a person, you know. But I got a lot of respect for that because I was always that kid. It was like, yo, like bro in the cut, like chilling, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I just chill, do my work. You know, I crack a joke here and there, and you know, I was just me. You know, they asked me what I thought about something, I told them, you know what I'm saying, honestly, and then you know what I'm saying, they just rock with me. So be yourself. You never go wrong with that.
Now, after high school was complete, you graduated. Music was taken more serious after that, but did you end up going and furthering the education at all, or no?
No, I actually didn't. I had some family issues that you know, I was taking care of, like transitioning over. So it was like the college option was always like an option, but at the time I didn't see it as one, you know. And my mother, she was supportive of it regardless. She was like, yeah, go out and do your thing. But, you know, I just felt like it was like more of my, you know what I'm saying, duty to help, you know what I'm saying, help my family out at the time. So.
Do you regret regret not furthering the education?
No, I don't.
Hindsight 2020?
I don't. And not saying I don't because of like education, because, you know, I'm all for that. But that's just because I don't believe in like regrets, you know, or, you know what I'm saying, you having any. I just, you know what I'm saying, live life.
What about as far as jobs? Any jobs growing up for you?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Man, I had a couple of like jobs that I distinctly remember. One of them was working at MacArthur Mall. I used to do customer service out there and, you know, work at the door. So like when people come up, I used to go and like talk to them and like, you know, if they looked like they was like looking for things or whatnot, I would kind of like guide them downtown and coming in. That was the most fun job, and like I met a lot of dope people doing that. And then like I also worked at a car dealership, Priority Hyundai, and I was working with customer service there and like driving cars and all that stuff.
Any of those jobs tough?
Not for real. Like it just required me to pretty much be myself. You know, I just had to talk to people every day, so it wasn't too bad. Any
crazy stories dealing with any of those jobs? Anything that happened out of the norm?
Not too crazy. You know, just kind of like times where I got caught up for like not really taking my job too seriously. But yeah.
Quit these jobs? Got fired?
Yeah, I quit both of them.
Any of those quittings because of music?
One of them was the first job, which is working at the mall. I just was kind of ready to, you know, transition and do something else. You know, I had been doing it for a long time, and I was just like, yeah, you know, it was just kind of like my time. I just felt that, So, you know what I'm saying, I had left, and, you know, that's when I started working at the other car dealership that I had mentioned. And then from that car dealership, I got the opportunity to do music full time. And then that's when I started doing that.
Now, as far as siblings, you're the older one.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about your family previously. Anyone else in your family do music aside yourself, or just you?
Oh yeah, like my whole family is music oriented. Like from my aunts to my cousins, you know what I'm saying. My mother, she sings and she's very artistic. So like, I can see where like my abilities come from. So.
Have you collaborated with any of them?
Oh yeah, I got tracks, and you know, me and my cousin sit down, we work on music together. It's a good way for us to bond and, you know, kind of see and understand each other. So.
Does it get competitive, or it's more of a supportive atmosphere?
Yeah, it's all love with us in the family. So, you know, whenever we do something, it's just kind of like, all right, you know what I'm saying, it's cool. But like, we push each other to do better, but it's never anything where it's kind of like somebody trying to like one up or like outshine, you know what I'm saying, intentionally, you know. We might do it in fun, you know what I'm saying, like kind of like get the best out of each other. But like, it's nothing that's like, you know what I'm saying, crazy.
What does your family think about your music career?
Yeah, my family is very supportive, very, very supportive. Like I said, my mother, she supported my decision, you know, when I decided I wanted to do it full time. And, you know, she was with it 100%. I thank I love her for that. Every time I post something up or, you know, put something on Facebook or Instagram, you know, my aunt will go in and like it. My cousins will share my stuff, you know. My brother, he'll share my music. So I'm thankful for that, because everybody don't have that support system, you know, so.
Supportive right away, or did she have to warm up to it?
No, she was supportive from the jump, but mostly because of like how she grew up, you know, her looking for her outlet, for her to really be able to, you know what I'm saying, express herself, and it wasn't there. So when she found out I wanted to do something, it was like, go for it, you know. So I'm thankful for that.
It's one thing to, as a parent, support what their child does. It's another for them to like what their child does.
Yeah.
Does your mom actually like the music?
Yeah. You know, a lot of my music is she actually rocks with like a lot of them. You know, there's been tracks that I put out. She's like, you know what I'm saying, I don't know about this or this and the third, but she still, you know, respected me enough, and you know, because she loved me, she's like, okay, yeah, I can see where you're going with it. But a lot of my music she likes, which is dope.
What about the cussing?
I don't really like cuss in like a lot of my tracks, because like I'm more so a singer, so you know what I'm saying, my stuff is more smooth and like, you know what I'm saying, love based and whatnot. So I don't really have that problem too much.
Some singers do curse.
Yeah, no. I know they cuss, but you know, that's not really my problem right
now. You do that on purpose? Like, do you purposely stay away from cussing in your music?
Not intentionally. You know, it's just like, I don't know, like I believe myself to be like a good enough writer where it's like, you know, things kind of flow. You know, I throw a word in here and there, you know what I'm saying, just kind of like, if that's the feeling or like that's what it's invoking, you know what I'm saying. But like, I believe like my strength as a writer is enough where it's like, I got a, you know what I'm saying, a way to describe everything, so.
Has she ever had a chance to see you perform live yet?
Oh yeah, she's seen me perform numerous times. Like I said, me and my brother were like a group, you know what I'm saying, growing up. So she was the one in the foreground pushing us, you know what I'm saying, making sure we had our lyrics and stuff right, and you know what I'm saying, making sure we was together, and you know, whatever we did, our stage performance was good. So she like taught me all of that, so.
Why aren't you guys together now?
Just because at the time, I wasn't into like my music as much growing up as a little kid. I kind of like fell off from it. And so I got more into like my sports phase of my life, where I wanted to be like, you know, more into like that field and whatnot. So, you know, I was just like, yeah, I don't really want to do it anymore. And I took a break for like a couple years, and you know, I ended up coming back to this organization where it was like all my friends and everything like that, they were like writing them back to like doing music and stuff like that. And you know, that's where I kind of like fell back in love with music again, so.
No hard feelings with your brother?
Oh yeah, no. We cool.
Does he still do music himself?
He does, but he does it on the side.
Yeah. Not full-time like you?
Not
full-time. What does your mom think about maybe your latest performance that she's seen?
The last performance she seen, she actually was supposed to come and what was the last one? What was the last one? What was the last one? I can't remember many dates be coming. But anyways, the last one that she saw, it was actually through like Facebook Live, and we had did a venue out in Alabama at the Alabama Music Awards, and we had went like live stream and whatnot. She was able to watch it, and she was pretty happy with it.
Do you ever get nervous performing in front of family members like your mom?
Not really nervous, more so anxious to like perform, you know what I'm saying, and just to do well. So.
Is it ever awkward knowing that she's in the crowd?
No, because my mom's been supportive for so long. So, you know, it's actually happy and then like actually bring like joy to me, like seeing her, you know what I'm saying, there.
You mentioned your mom gave you advice earlier in this segment. Best advice you ever received from her?
For my mother, follow your dreams, trust God, and, you know what I'm saying, be a man of your word. Like those three things like I still use like to this day, you know what I'm saying? So that's it from her.